I don't know.
Um,
We'll first talk to everybody, and then we'll go through it. As long as we have it on speakerphone, so everyone can hear it.
All right.
okay, awesome.
So what are we gonna use? Is it our own dialer or what's gonna happen?
Yeah, just you. We can use smartphone.
Okay.
And it's just as long as you put it on speakerphone, that way the audience can hear. It should work out pretty good.
Um,
Make sure we're live everywhere we're supposed to be live.
I think for us, for them to hear us, we need to like share the screen. I'm gonna share the screen of smartphone so that they can, pick up the audio.
I think they can without you doing that. You want to do a
Okay.
test? You want to do a test call real quick? Maybe just like you may have to unplug your headphone.
Oh, is that so? Okay. Let me
Yeah,
try.
maybe do a test call. What's going on, guys? As everyone joins in, sorry we're running a little late today. Excited for this live. We're gonna have all my lead managers here. I'm waiting on Mara. We're gonna do some calls to our leads today, and you guys can ask some questions. Let me know how to be. Are you doing it on your own? And also, where are you guys at? Are you in? Where are you seeing the most success in your businesses right now? Are you all virtual or are you doing locally? We are here in Phoenix, but obviously my whole team is in the Philippines, so we do it all over the United States. We don't just stay here in Phoenix. But I always love seeing you guys' comments every single every single week, to see where you are, what's working, what's not working. So excited to have my lead managers on here today, guys. So for what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing some live calls for you. So as we go
Yes,
through
sir.
these, some of our leads and calling, be sure to ask some questions. Um, it doesn't have to be just cold calling related, um, but it can be anything about virtual assistants or how to scale your business, how to set up your business. If it's system stuff, we're here. We're happy to help. I have all of my lead managers. We have Ira, we have Don, we have Mara. Say what's up, guys.
what's up,
What
everyone?
up, fam?
Good
Yeah, we're stoked to be
morning.
here.
Hey.
So nice to be here again.
Here we
Yeah, thanks
are.
for the invite, Matt.
Of course. Of course. Let's see. Let's go through some of these before we get started. Ira, if you want to do a test call real quick, just to make sure that we can hear the call.
All right, sounds good. Let me try it with the headset on, but if it's not working, I'm gonna try without the headset.
I know when I do our weekly meetings, I have to take my headsets off just so you can play through the computer.
All right, let me try Ronald right here. I'm sure this dude's not gonna answer, so let me try him right now.
It's only been 2 months.
Yeah,
Let's give it a
it
shot.
it's ringing right now. Can you guys hear it? No.
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 Okay.
So you may have to unplug the headphones. There we go. And if you
Oh,
guys have it playing on any other screen this live, probably want to mute that or stop any other recordings. That way it doesn't echo.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it's not as clear, but it's still pretty good. It'll do.
Okay, let me try it one more time.
Isn't my mic better?
Yeah, you're good. That's much better.
Okay, let me try to dial this lead. You can hear it ring?
Yeah.
Leave it. Just let it go. Let it go.
Straight right to his voicemail.
Right to his voicemail. There we go. Okay. Well, we're gonna go through. We're gonna go through a couple. Let me answer some questions real quick before we get started. But that's what we're probably going to do, guys. And then I'm echoing a little bit. So whenever one person's on the phone or talking, let's just mute the other ones so that way it's not too bad of an echo.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Dope. Let's see. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, Miles? What's going on? Hope you're doing well, brother. Craig, always hopping in on the Fridays, man. Love having you on. What up, Paul? Can we get a link with Pace making seller calls? So that is in his subject to mentorship group. So if you're in there, you can just comment, and I'm sure he'll be happy to link you in on that video. It's like 5 hours of seller lead calls. Mississippi, what's up? Sergio says, how much is call tool / month total cost, including numbers of minutes with everything? Because some way it's more expensive than Mojo, but Mojo is like $150. So call tools using my link is $99. And then you're going to want to buy your phone numbers, right? And your phone numbers are anywhere from $3 to $5. I mean, you're going to want to do that regardless of whatever dialer you're using. Doesn't matter if it's Mojo or call tools or anything. You're going to want a lot of phone numbers. So that's just a cost you're going to incur on whatever platform. It's just Mojo costs like 150, 160, whatever that is for $10 for a dialer. So 10 line dialer, $99 a month. So anything over that, of course, you want to price out your phone numbers, right? You want to price out because that's anywhere from $3 to $5 depending on what area you're in. And if you get a premium number you can text from, it's $5. And you're probably going to want 10 of those so you can cycle through them in like a random, so it doesn't like overload one phone number at a time. And that's really the only other cost. I mean, the minutes are what they are. You're really never going to go over your minutes unless you're taking a bunch of inbound calls. You're answering live on call tools. You'll probably go over your minutes. But if you're just doing outbound calls and all of your inbound calls are forwarded to like a dial pad, we use dial pad, it's unlimited minutes. So that way you're not going to get billed for the additional minutes. So that's what I recommend for that, Sergio. Let's see. Virtually in Orlando or Charlotte. Yeah, man, those are great markets. I think there's a lot of folks there. It is competitive, but it's competitive anywhere. So, but I mean, if you have the skills, you're going to get the deals, like Chris Root says, right? Yo, what's up, Joe? How's everything been going, man? I know on the last live, I think it was a couple weeks ago, you were just getting started, and you're like, "Hey, how do I get started? What's the first thing that I do?" Um, if you're still in that boat, tune into our next live with Pace at 10:30. Pace and I will be going live, and we're going to be answering questions. We're doing the 990 challenge. We're going to be doing our first week recap of the 990. We're going to be texting sellers live. And if we get some hot leads, we're going to give them a call too on that live. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's at 10:30. The whole purpose is showing folks how to get their first deal. Yo, yo, yo. All right, well, let's get to it. For lead managers, if we have any follow-up calls from our agents that's on their personal follow-up, let's call them. And let's see if we can get somebody on the phone, okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
Who wants to go first?
Let's hit it.
Ira, are you going to go first?
Sure, man. Who do you want me to call? Like,
Yeah.
we have Michael and Carl Durham here.
Yeah, let's I don't know, either one of those. That's fine. We can
Okay,
also,
let me.
we can also call Michael Lotion and a couple other people. So I mean, we don't have to cherry pick them. We can just go through them just like you guys do on a daily basis.
Okay, gotcha. Let me just remove
Call
my
Carl.
headset real quick.
Yeah, go for it. And I'll mute myself. Don't mute yourself, Ira.
Okay. I'm gonna call Carl, and let's hope he answers his phone. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right, let's get it on. Hey, Carl. Good morning. This is Ira from Exceptional Home Offer, one of the company's property specialists. How are you doing?
Pretty good, guys.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, you spoke with my assistant, Mike, regarding your house on 17251 North 61st Avenue, and he mentioned you were possibly interested in receiving an all-cash offer on that property. Is that right?
It's going to go to foreclosure here, so there's nothing I can do. 'Cause I owe $399 on it, and nobody wants to pay $399. So it's in bad shape. So I let it go because I've been in court for 3 years, and I just let it go. So anyway,
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear
if you're
that.
interested in buying it at $399, call me back. If not, please don't bother me tomorrow, okay?
I
Thank you, Ira.
I completely understand that, Carl. And yeah, that's actually one reason. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it. He
Did he hang up
hang up?
after the 399?
Yeah, he did. Unfortunately.
So that is a really good lead. Obviously, it's going to have to be a creative deal,
Mhm.
right? The property, just for our listeners to know, the property's worth about 450-ish, depending on the upgrades you make. I mean, there's some comps upwards of 500, depending on like how crazy you want to go. But this will have to be a creative deal. I mean, he's not hoping to walk away with anything more than what he owes, right? He's like, I owe $399 on it. If you can give me $399, then please call me back. Well, that's like great. That's like freaking picture perfect subject to property. Even walking in with some equity, knowing that it needs a good amount of work. There's some things that we want to look at, right? Um, for this particular one, if we know like, okay, if we go in and like, what does that look like? I know looking at the notes on this particular lead, it'll probably need, new flooring. It'll need paint. It'll need some upgrades in the kitchen. So I mean, and it's a decent sized house. So I mean, we can easily spend about 35 grand in here. But the great thing about subject two is we can take these properties down subject to understanding that we're going to do the work, the 35 grand using private money, pay off any kind of arrears, and still like, hey, we still have a solid amount of equity after finishing that, to where once we flip the property and resell it, let's say we did the upgrades that was necessary and we listed it for 490, right? We know Phoenix is a really good market. If we listed it for 490, we're probably still going to make 30 grand on a flip by taking it subject to, without having to go get hard money, without having to have a crazy amount of holding cost. So this is a good deal. And it seems like you guys who are listening heard him say, like, no one can give me what I owe. Perfect. Because subject to is going to be like, is going to solve all your problems. So we get a lot of deals like this that, like a lot of wholesalers, a lot of investors throw these out. Pace talks about it all the time because the numbers don't work, right? As a traditional deal, as a wholesale deal, I mean, the other cash offers are probably going to be coming in around 325 to 330, without even looking at what the note is on this property, without even looking at what the mortgage is. I can probably tell you that's not something that as a company we would want to hold on to for cash flow purposes. Probably can't rent it out high enough to where we could actually make some money on it without doing like an Airbnb or something. But Airbnb is taking a big dump this year because of COVID. So we look at this property like, okay, I think we could probably still do a subject to flip, not a wholesale, not a subject to wholesale because it does need work, but we can come in, structure as a subject to, maybe even give the seller a couple grand and take over his payments, and we're able to keep our costs down by doing it that way. So, and also we're flexible with his timeline. So I like that lead a lot. I think we should definitely give him a call back here in about an hour and a half and assure him like, hey, I think there's something that we can structure. I know he didn't really give you enough time to go over that because you were going to say that. But it sounds like he was just a little frustrated with all the calls that he's getting. So I think we should follow up on that one. And in about an hour and a half, call him back and say, So, Carl, I think there's something we can do. We can structure something that may work. I know a lot of folks, they can't pay your number. They're probably offering you more. Probably offering you less than what you owe, and they're like, he's probably gonna be like, yeah, no, exactly. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna do a short sale. Perfect. Well, I think there's something we can structure where we can basically pay your price. So, yeah, we'll put that in the notes and we'll do a follow up call.
Sounds great.
What do you guys think about that? Do you kind of see where we're coming from for the subject to and why that has to be a subject to given the numbers and the fact that the property needs work? So let me see in the comment section what you guys think about that. Yo, what exactly does a lead manager do, like all their duties in your business? So, as you guys can see, this is what they do all day, every day. They call our warm leads. So, the folks that have already been vetted, the folks that are want to, and is our 4 pillars of a good lead. So they actually have to want to sell with motivation. They have to have a definite timeline. They have to be reasonable with their asking price, right? And of course, the condition of the property is something that we take into account. So if it passes those 4 pillars, then they push it through, and their lead managers further vet that lead. I mean, they all have a really good understanding. Mara, Don, and Ira all have a great understanding of creative finance, subject to wholesale, understanding when to pull the right tool out of the tool belt when talking to the seller to further vet that person to get it ready for an acquisition. I mean, actually, all 3 of them now can actually do the acquisition. So it's super exciting. So that's the evolution of a cold caller or a texter becoming a lead manager to a then becoming an acquisition person. So we do stuff like this where we listen on the calls, do live calls where we can do our training, just like you guys are seeing live here with Ira. Let's see. Hi, Matt. Did the spreadsheet I sent suffice? Yeah, Mark. So Pace and I are doing the live at 10:30, and we're going to be taking everybody's data and putting it into batch so we can skip trace it, and we're going to start texting it. Probably on the live, we'll be texting Pace's list first, and then starting on Monday next week, we're going to be marketing to everybody's list that they sent over. Is seller financing possible in a house with an existing mortgage? So, yes, Facebook user, not sure who you are, but it's kind of more of a hybrid deal, right? Because you have to make the payments on the mortgage, so that doesn't change. So if the house is worth 200 and the mortgage is 100, right? You're going to have to take over that mortgage subject to, and then you can create another note for the remaining amount that they're hoping to get. That would still make sense, right? So if you know that $200,000 house you can rent out for $1,650, right? If the $100,000 mortgage payment is like $600, then I know that I want to create a second note, for that $100,000. Or maybe I give them a small down payment if the property is in good condition on that second, and then figure out something that works payment wise so it can still cash flow. So it would be like a hybrid deal, a subject to and a creative finance deal. But ultimately, like, you're only limited by your how creative you can get. So you can certainly do that. And if you have any more questions on that, just let me know. I'll be happy to help. Darren, afternoon, Matt. Since adding SMS in addition to cold calling, yes, dude, I love it. Texting, like SMS and cold calling together, is amazing, and the process, they go hand in hand, right? I mean, you guys know, like, what do we do for our SMS leads in our business now? I mean, you guys can answer, but it's all good. I get crickets. But so what we do is, I'm sorry, you guys are on mute, so you're probably saying something. But for what we do with our SMS, when we get someone who gives us a number or said they're interested in selling, great, boom, on the phone. Let's give them a call. Let's see if this is a tire kicker. Let's see if there's someone who is serious. So
exactly,
that is perfect, man. I'm happy to hear that, Darren. Dude, hell yes. So happy. If has Ace reached out to you about the Facebook incentive? Like, we're doing $20 for everyone who gives us a review, good or bad, $20. We're just trying to actually build a Facebook page. So, Orlando and Tampa, awesome. Let's see. You need to do a sub 2 if it has an existing mortgage. Seller finance isn't only if the house is free and clear. Yeah, so I think that just piggybacks on your question. So you can do both, right? You can do a hybrid deal, and create a second note for the seller finance. Um, let's see, Nashville guys. Anyone in Nashville, hit up Shane. Leanna says call tools $99 a month and gives you 5,000 minutes per month. Yeah, 5,000 minutes should be enough. On average, how many minutes do your VAs use per month? I have a number right now, so I just want to make sure they provide enough minutes. Heck, to be honest with you, Sergio, if I was giving you a number, I'd be lying because I don't know that exact number, but I know it's always
It depends.
yeah, I know it's always under 5,000. We never go above it. One month we did go over like a crazy amount, and it was because I had everything going to an IVR within call tools, so all the inbound calls were getting like for English press 1, for Spanish press 2, right? And then they were hit 1 or 2 and they get connected to one of our agents, and if they didn't, it was doing that minutes went crazy because people were just sitting in the system, burning up all the minutes. All right, guys, I have a lot more questions here, but we'll just keep rolling and I'll answer these on the next one. So who wants to go next?
Go, guys.
Mara, let's do it. I'm gonna mute myself.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
I can hear you, but you're probably gonna need to take off your headphones so you can hear the phone ring. I know it sucks. May want to get really close to the computer. And unmute yourself.
How about that? Okay, let's call Michael Nitsky. All right, let's try him.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. I'd like to speak with Mr. Michael Nitsky.
Speaking?
Hi, this is Mara. I am from Exceptional Home Offer. How are you today?
Good.
Oh, that's great to hear. I'm calling because you spoke to my assistant Ashley about your property at 6603 Wadsworth Road, and you mentioned that you were possibly interested in selling it all for cash. Is that right?
I've
Sorry?
spoken to many investors about the same exact thing.
Oh, you
Oh.
do? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we're actually
If
sorry, what was that?
I was just going to say, if this is the same company that I spoke with the other day, then I told her there's a lockbox on it. Send somebody out there and see if it's something that you're interested in. So
Oh.
I don't have a lot of time to speak to many investors per day. I'm literally 2 or 3 investors are calling me per day on this property. I don't have the time. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand that. This is just gonna be real quick. I just wanted to know that we are one of the serious buyers as we buy properties. I mean, a lot of properties within a month. I just wanted to know if we are a good fit. If today is not a good time, can I call you back? What would be the best time for me to reach you?
Well, I'm such a busy man. That's what I'm saying. I'm serious if I'm giving you the lockbox. Because
Okay.
if you want to send someone out there and check it out personally, that you can answer all your own questions as
Okay.
to when the AC was, if the roof is good, this and that, the other. Okay.
Well, yeah, definitely. What we actually do is that we take what we take your words based on the condition of the property. The reason why I called is I'd like to talk about more of your, of the price that how much are you gonna be selling, like how soon can you sell the property and things like that. Something for the condition. We actually take we actually take the information as truthful as what you said to my assistant, because we are also being truthful in the deal that we are going to be telling you. But say for example, we'd like the property. Can you sell the house to us? Like, are you thinking to sell it within a month or 2 months? How soon can you sell it?
I can sell it whenever you want. The property is in a 9 out of 10, possibly an 8 out of 10 cosmetically. Everything works in it, and 175 is my bottom dollar. That's all
Okay.
the information you need.
Okay. Are you the only one in the title, or are there any other people who needs to
Nope,
have?
I'm the only one and I own it outright.
Perfect. Okay, you said you need 175, right?
Correct. I'm not going to take a penny less than it. So send somebody out there, see if you're interested in it, okay?
Okay, no problem. So what I'm gonna do first is I'll check on the property and then get back to you. What's the lockbox code? Lockbox code.
Hang on, I got to pull it up. I've got a couple of them.
You know what, sir? I'm just gonna maybe text to you the code, or I'm just gonna text you and maybe you can reply to me with the code. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Well,
Okay.
that's fine, but it's 0418.
Zero. Okay.
All right?
All right, I'm gonna first endorse this to our underwriting department. We'll take a look into it and let's see if 175 is something that I could have it approved, and I will get back to you for sure with further details about the property. Okay, I mean about the things that we've gone through. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you too for your time and look forward to talk to you soon. Have a great one, sir.
All right. You too, bye.
Bye bye.
Awesome.
Nice.
There you go.
Give me the code, man.
Hey, sorry I was making you laugh. So we're not far off on this one. He's asking 175, and no one is paying him 175. Right? He has talked to, and for the guys watching, this guy's probably talked to many investors. Well, he said he has, and he has other properties. He wants to seem powerful, like a guy who knows what he's doing. Like, oh, I have so many lockbox codes. Sorry, let me look through all the ones that I have. But with this guy, it's like, okay, well, if all these people are calling you, I guarantee there's a lot of wholesalers calling this guy and just throwing numbers at him. It's like, well, why haven't you sold the property by now? You know, if you're taking 2 or 3 calls a day, gosh, that's over 20 calls a week. And if these people are serious, you're giving out your lockbox code. That just tells me that, people aren't coming in at what you're hoping to get. You know what I'm saying? So we're not that far off from his price. It's not crazy, but we're going to need it for about $15,000 less. But that's an easy negotiation. So good job on the call. Is definitely a driver. He's such a busy man. He's such a busy man.
Yeah.
But good that you kept the conversation going. You got the lockbox code. If everyone listening, you can take the lockbox code and go check out the property too. But yeah, so I think that should materialize into something. Maybe we should give him 24 hours like we always do. And if you guys are listening, typically after a lead manager gives a call and we do price conditioning or whatever may happen on that call, we give them about 24 hours before we call them back. We say that we're submitting it to our underwriting department, and we let them really think about what they'd actually accept for the property. So we will send someone out to go look at it. It's not in Phoenix, so we'll send someone to go take photos and all that other good stuff, and then we'll call him back and kind of see if we can dig a little bit deeper on the motivation. But good stuff. If you guys have questions on that call, so that was night and day between, that's a wholesale deal. Ira's was a creative finance deal. If you guys have questions on that, or what you guys took from it, be sure to put it in the comment section. It's the reason why we do this stuff. This is just kind of like live coaching too for our team, so you guys can see that. I think this is really, really cool. If you think this is cool, say hell yes in the comment section. We're gonna keep rolling. Let me answer some questions. Joe says, okay, I will do that. As for how's it going, been doing a lot of door knocking and nice, man. Gotten a few leads. That's what's up. Keep it going, man. It's all about consistency. When you're out there and you're door knocking, don't stop. Even when you get a few leads, don't stop. You are right now, you are in the business of getting more leads. Leads is the lifeblood of getting your business going, right? And if you're a one-man show, that you have to be fanatical about it. You have to do it every single day. Great book that I recommend to all of our door knockers on our team is Fanatical Prospecting. So, highly recommend getting that one. If you're out there door knocking, it'll keep you fired up, and it gives you like some actual things to look at as far as like how to track your metrics and what your goal should really be while you're out there doing it. Call tools cost me $129 per agent. Justin, hit me up, man. I can get you in for a lower cost than that. All of my folks are $99 a month. So that'll save you $30 per agent. So if you have 3 agents, that's $100 a month. Live call, that's great. Awesome. Is that 5,000 minutes when you buy their number or the tool in general? That's 5 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, it's the seat itself. So not the phone number, but the seat. So if I have one account, and let's just say for our team we have multiple logins, right? So for one of them, it'll be like agent 1, agent 2, agent 3. So agent 1 will have 5,000 minutes. Agent 2. Number's random. It's in the campaign and call tools, so that number is just randomly going through whatever we have within that group. So that's it's 5,000 per seat. What's going on? From Wisconsin. Okay, how's it going in Wisconsin? Working on my mailers and website. Do you guys truly believe mailers is a good marketing tool for 2020? So I mean, it depends on where you're at. Mailers, like, here's the thing, mailers will work anywhere, right? It doesn't matter, market depending. I just know that my cost per lead in Phoenix from a mailer would be ridiculously higher than what it would be in some of these smaller markets, right? So not to say that mailers don't work. I think anything works as long as you're consistent with it, but it's about, how do I keep my cost per deal as low as possible so I can hire more badass VAs, and how do I make more money selling that deal, right? So typically, like, we have a website that just sits there as like a post in the ground. So if sellers want to check us out, check our website out, it's at least something for them to look at. But we don't do any kind of internet marketing, and we don't send mailers simply because the cost per lead. There we go. Yeah, if you're talking about the creative finance deal, he definitely sounded very frustrated. He's basically throwing his hands up. He's like, dude, I can't get rid of this property. There, people who want to buy it, they're coming in way too low, and it doesn't make sense for me. I'm just going to have to lose this thing to auction. So, hey, creative, subject to, we can go help this guy out. It's actually very similar to, our door knocking deal from one of our newer team members. It was a subject to where we were able to pay more than a lot of other people simply because we did the subject to, and he gets to stay in the property for a little bit longer. So he's super stoked. Call him back. We will. We'll give him about an hour and a half. We'll probably about, once I finish with Pace, probably around lunchtime, I'll give him a call back. Let him cool off a little bit. Yes, definitely a callback. He's beat up and needs a creative deal, 100%. And with these people who are this way, right, who are just super frustrated, dude, I'm getting so many calls because I'm on the foreclosure list, and no one's giving him a number that he can actually do. We'll just go knock on the door, right? We'll short circuit the thing, and we're just like, instead of me calling this guy and trying to do this over the phone, especially here in Phoenix, I'd rather not, frustrate him any further. Let me just go knock on his door and see if I can help him out. Justice, what's up, bro? I got a VA question. In your experience, which type of VA is easier to train and manage? A VA that does cold calling or a VA that does texting? Well, you're gonna want them to have both skills, right? If they understand, so like, here's the thing: if number one, they have to be a self-starter. They have to be motivated, right? That goes anyone. That goes for me. That goes for my business partners. That goes for everyone on our team. Have to be a self-starter, right? You have to understand what we're trying to do. What's a good lead, right? So the 4 pillars is important. And then number 3, you have to be able to communicate with people. So it doesn't matter if it's via text or a phone call. But if, again, with our process of texting, they got to at least be able to call that person too. So I think it's more like less of like position of like how do I train a cold caller, how do I train a texter, but like how do I develop my people in general? How do I develop my team? And focusing on those 4 pillars. Would you guys agree?
Could agree
Definitely,
more.
man.
1000%.
Beautiful. Jeremiah says, could you do a sub 2 then seller finance or a lease, or would that not work for that price of the house? So are you talking about the lead that was $399? So I mean, you can go all sorts of routes, right? You could technically do the seller finance as well and charge a large down payment, which would offset the arrears and the cash that you get the seller. I'm just worried that the arrears would be too much, right? I can structure it. I can definitely make it work as a subject to flip. If the arrears was like over $60,000, we can still make that work as a subject to flip, right? It ends up being $399 either way. But if I'm gonna buy that and try to do seller finance, I'm gonna have to charge, you know, I'm gonna have to do the repairs, then charge $100,000, whatever. So I mean, you could certainly do that, but I think for this particular purpose, without knowing the arrears, probably approach it in my mind as a subject to flip. And if the arrears come back not that bad, then maybe a seller finance would work a little bit better on a wrap. Mitch says, but we can stop the foreclosure, save his credit, put a couple grand in his pocket. You got it, Mitch. You got it. It's a perfect sub 2 deal. It really is. It'll be a good one. So for those guys watching, I'll be sure to post it on my Instagram once I talk to the guy. And if I go out to the property, I'll record it as well. So I'll keep you guys in the loop of what happens with that one. Is there a lead manager script? We had something that we wrote up, but really our guys kind of just make it their own. It's a lot like the cold calling script. It's just like you have a different purpose, right? We're just going in a little bit further, right? We're confirming up front that we have the right person, that they actually do want to sell, right? And then past that, it's like, okay, well, I mean, seems like a good property. If we come to an agreement on the price, how soon do you want to sell? Okay, well, you already have on your notes or timeline, but you guys are confirming, like, gotcha. It's just someone, and when you ask that, you're really seeing how motivated they are, right? And said, all right, well, I mean, and as far as the price is concerned, like, did you have a number in mind? We'll get a confirmed price. Like, all right, well, it seems like a really good place. I mean, from what my colleague was saying, I mean, I don't know why in the world would you ever want to sell this place, right? And we'll dig a little bit deeper on the motivation. And yeah, that I mean, ultimately, that's what they're looking for. They want to make sure that before they push it on to acquisition, this is someone who wants to sell within the next 60 days, right? And this is someone who's motivated. That's it, right? If there's still reason why they're asking price, they're motivated. They know they're going to push it on to acquisition. Justice says, what would you say the difference is between lead manager and acquisition manager? So lead manager does everything up to the point to actually negotiate the contract and go over the details, send it out to them to get signatures, let them know of the process after they sign, all that other good stuff. So it's just the next step. The lead manager is just basically teeing it up for the acquisition person to be like, great, let me get this person on the phone, making my life a lot easier. It's like, okay, I get on the phone with this person, very simple. If I have to negotiate a little bit further, I can negotiate a little bit further. I talk a little sweet to them, whisper in their ear, bam, we get the contract. So but I mean, these guys have been trained to do it now, so it's amazing that what can be done. Joe says, can you do a sub 2, putting on a year lease, hold it when you repair after the year is up, and then flip it? You could, but our policy is never keep the homeowner in the property for longer than maybe 30 to 45 days. We've had times where we got burned from sellers staying in properties and not leaving, and we had to evict them. And then it's so weird because, like, hey, well, the mortgage is still in my name, and these people are making me pay rent. Like, what's going on? It's just like so many red flags, and it could really turn into something bad. So, just general policy, not saying we can't do it, but typically we won't do that. Omar says, hey guys, I'm currently sending texts, but all of them so far have asked stop. Is this normal? Also, what are some texts that are currently working for you? We don't say anything crazy. We just say, hey, this is actually reaching out about your property about on 123 Main Street. Do you have a moment today, or do you have a second, or what's a good time to reach you, or would you consider an offer? Just some kind variation of that text, and you're going to have a lot of people say no, stop, whatever. Depends on your market, and it depends on your volume, right? If I'm using batch, we send, your one market limit is 5,000 per market, so we'll send that limit, and as soon as we get someone who is interested in selling, which is, you're sifting through. The greatest thing about text is you can do it a lot faster, and you can get through all the leads and find the people who are actually like, okay, they've responded. They didn't say quit. They could have easily said quit. They want to get an offer, so that's what we do. Okay, so I won't answer any more. We have a lot here, but as before we move on, let's go ahead and get you on one, Don. Don wants.
All right. Can you hear me, guys?
Go, go,
Can you hear me?
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got you, dude. We got you.
All right. All right.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Let me just adjust this real quick. We'll try to call Michael Lotion. All right. So, a little background with this lead. Um, we are almost there. So, let's try to get him back.
Yeah, set the
Let me dial
appointment for
now.
me ASAP.
Yep. Can you hear me, guys?
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
All right, guys, let me try again. Hold on.
Hello?
Hi, good morning, Mike.
Yes, it is.
Hi, Michael. What's up? How are you today?
What's up?
How are you today?
Okay, who's calling?
Oh, by the way, my name is Don. I'm one of the property specialists here at Exceptional Homes. So I'm actually just doing a follow-up call today. This is with regards to your property here at Sun Lakes, 9402 East Olive Lane.
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, so the last time we talked, you guys are, I think you guys are on appointment for a doctor's appointment.
Yes, you have to have some surgery. That's correct.
Oh, okay. So what happened? Are you on the process of recovering right now, or?
Well, we have to go with the pre-ops and all that stuff with blood tests, so
Mhm.
it's taking up a lot of time.
I see. Okay. Well, by the way, is this a good time to call right now, or?
Well, not really. I got nothing to add until we're finished with our medical problems, and then we can concentrate on this.
I see. Well, Michael, I just want to make sure that we actually have all information so that, once we go to your property, uh, we're ready to roll. Would that be okay?
I don't know what that means.
I mean,
That's fine, but
okay. Yeah. So the last time we actually got some information that, it has 3 beds, 2 bath. It's in double wide, and you currently own the land, right?
correct.
And the roof is about 8 years old, and the air conditioning is about 12 years old.
Yeah, 12, 13, yeah.
12, 13. Okay. And for the kitchen and bath, you told me that it it needs a little or minor remodeling since it actually has laminated tile. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, great. So yeah, we are really interested in, buying your property. I just want to make sure that we are on. We're actually in the perfect timing to, visit you perhaps and check on the property, so that we can actually talk more and talk numbers.
Yeah, well, we've got to take care of this health medical thing first before we deal with that.
I see.
So put the back burner.
Right. Okay. I completely understand. But when would be the best time you think for us to call you and set up an appointment for you so that we can get this ball rolling?
I don't have an answer to that.
Hmm.
Probably in a few weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. So would it be okay if we call you after like on October 19th? That would be next week. That would be on Monday.
Well, I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying. We're not ready till we finish these medical things. So whatever you want to do, you do. I can't tell you how to live your life. You want to call, call.
Hmm.
But to make an appointment to call on October 19th is ridiculous from my standpoint. Do what you want. It's fine with me. But you're not listening, and that's okay. That's your prerogative. Uh, but we're not ready until we have these medical things finished. Okay?
No, I completely understand, man. I mean, the thing that I'm trying to call you back is to probably do some touch base and try to ask how you guys doing. If you guys are getting good already. I just wanna I just want to make sure I'm not dropping the ball or anything. So you know.
I hear you. So you
Mm.
call when it's convenient to you. That's okay with me.
Okay, perfect then. Well, anyway, Michael, it was a pleasure talking to you, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Don.
All
Bye
right.
bye, guy.
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
There you go. So, I know, the thing about this, guys, I think for folks that are watching, it's always tough when the numbers work, but the motivation isn't there yet, right? So, for this particular lead, numbers are great, right? But we also don't want to push them too far. They're a little bit older, and they have like some medical things that they want to tend to first before they sell the property. So Don was pushing a little bit there. I think in that scenario, Don, probably be best to step off just a little bit, simply because like he was like, "Oh, you're definitely not listening to what I'm saying." I mean, it wasn't a bad conversation, but I think in those circumstances, it would have been like, "Oh, okay, I think I would have spent a little bit more time learning about what's going on medically. Like they had a surgery, they're having some procedures. Like what's the next thing for them? Like what's going on? What's ailing them? What make it about the prospect. Remember, never about the property.
Right.
And I think he was at least cordial enough to have the conversation. But I think given that, it would be like to build a little bit more rapport would be to put the prospect first and say, hey, like just figure out a little bit more what's going on, so that way we can get a better timeline. So we've been calling this lead for like every week for almost 2 months or a month and a half, 2 months. So I think we just need to get on the same page with them and figure out like, so what's the next step in their medical procedures? Like, so who's got to go in to get another checkup? Who's got to, like, what does that actually look like? What, is this like you guys getting treatments every month? Or, we also still have to figure out, this is owner occupied. So we still have to figure out like, if we were to buy the property, like, yes, the numbers work and it's all good and we're hunky dory, we're happy over here. But we got to figure out where they're going to go. We got to figure out a realistic timeline. So this particular lead, numbers work. Motivation isn't quite there because they have personal things that they got going on. So this is a good follow up for just keeping that rapport, building a great relationship with Michael over the next couple of weeks. So or next couple of months, whatever that looks like. So we can at least plan ahead. So typically for you guys that are watching, I would take this lead if it was me, and I would like start trying to put an action plan together for the prospect. Like, so I will get to know him a little bit. I'll learn about him and his wife and the medical procedures and what's going on. What is the cost of all that, right? And what, like, because by selling the property, what does that actually solve for these people, right? Do they need some extra cash? Are they hoping to rent their next place? They're a little bit older. So, I mean, I'd hate to say, should they go into an assisted living facility or something like that? Like, what do they have in mind? So that would be the next step. If it was me personally doing this follow up call, and not saying that I won't, that would be my next step, right? Is to build that rapport. So when I get an understanding of, you know, selling the property solves for the seller, then I can start putting a plan together with them, saying, "Hey, listen, this is no pressure. We can close whenever. It doesn't matter if it's next month or next year. It doesn't matter. But we want to work with you guys, and we want to make sure you have enough time so you can accomplish X, Y, and Z. You know, and we can work together on it, and whatever that timeline looks like." So, good lead for sure, but definitely one that we just want to keep a good relationship with. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think Don was able to stick with the lead. You know, he was able to still keep
Yep.
him on the phone. But I guess we could have, added more, empathy since
Don's like, hey, listen, I just want to do my job. I
like
don't want to drop the ball on my end.
there you
But he's like,
What's
but
up?
Don's like, what's up? I'm ready to roll. And
What's up?
this old guy's like, dude, I got nowhere to roll
go.
to.
I'm having a
But it
surgery,
was
and then
great,
what's
man.
up?
Yes. So you can't motivate somebody, guys. You can't like put a fire like the number. You
Mhm.
can't put a fire under them and make it work. We get it all the time, especially with older folks. We get numbers that work for us, but the time does like it's they're just not that motivated to do it right now. Because sometimes you catch them by surprise. They give you a number, and you're like, okay, well, if we pay that, what happens next? And they're like, oh, well, let me go talk to my wife, or whatever. And then next thing you know, they're like, well, we're just gonna hold off for about a year. Gotcha. Right. So motivation, if that's like the key pillar of all four, motivation has to be there. Not saying Michael doesn't have that, but right now he has a lot of other things going on. So let's build a relationship. Let's make it a follow up.
So for now, Matt, what the plan for Michael would be at least a month follow up, maybe, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they need really at least time to recover.
Yep. 100%. So, yeah, they're not doing anything anytime soon. But I mean, it would still be advantageous for us to give them a call in about 2 weeks just to check in, more of a personal basis, right? Say, hey,
Exactly.
Don, again, I know last time I called you
Touch
a
base.
couple weeks ago, you guys had a lot of medical procedures, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come off as like pushy trying to meet with you guys. I know you guys have a lot on your plate, so I
Mm-hmm.
mean, how are y'all doing? Right? So make it more personal, and then you will eventually get to where we need to get by leading the prospect down the road of like, hey, we're going to work together on this. It's not me versus you, it's us together. We're going to figure this thing out.
Exactly. And sometimes the one that I mean, the one that you were using, Matt, like, hey, I'm here. Just wanted to make sure that you don't forget me. I'd like to buy
Yeah,
your property. Something like that. That really works. I
yeah, I
mean,
do it all.
they would say, yeah, do it every month.
Exactly. It's like, well, if they say, oh, I need some more time, I'm like, all right, well, listen, is it all right if I follow up with you maybe in a couple weeks or maybe about a month? Because to be honest with you, I just don't want you to forget me. I know a lot of people call you and text you want to buy your property. I just want to be there when the time is right for you guys, and I'm gonna be the person you guys call. Is that fair? Like, oh yeah, that's cool. Call me anytime. You know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes. What would be some of the advantage for a private lender? Do they get some down payment, percentage of the rent spread between the existing? So they get interest. It's interest only on the private lender. So the greatest part about having good relationships is you get you don't have to pay out of your pocket most of the time. They're going to give you the cash you need to fund the deal, and you make their interest payment. Let's see. I still haven't gotten the areas to drive for dollars in Arizona, bro. Matt, how do I get that from you? So if you're a part of the 990 challenge, all you have to do is comment on the video. I actually put together 5, like a little Google Drive for the folks that are doing it, kind of step by step, and it goes over the areas that I've circled. It's not fancy. I just basically screenshotted it and I drew circles all over the map based on the areas that you should drive for dollars in. Thanks, Matt. Just got the detail of the Facebook review deal from Ace. Awesome, man. I appreciate you. Jeremiah says he had a couple lock boxes. That means he might have multiple houses. Yeah, no, he definitely has. he has multiple properties, but right now we're in the beginning phases of building a relationship with this guy, because every other investor is going to do this. They're going to be like, "Oh, you want 175? Oh, we can't pay 175. We can pay 145. We can pay 150." That's every other investor. And guess what? When you give your numbers, you kill the deal. You commoditize yourself, and it's just a bid to whoever can pay the most. So we never do that. He's asking 175. Cool. We'll send someone out to the property and just use that as leverage when we get back on the phone with them.
Yeah, never drop your number in the beginning, and
Never
that
drop
they will
that.
not talk to you.
100%. Leanna says you did amazing, Mira. She kept on the phone longer
Thank
than
you.
most people would. Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. Good call. Love how she diffused the guy after he was talking about how many other investors. Yeah, exactly. Like, sometimes you put the seller, whoever you have on the phone, on a leash, right? You put them on a point where it's like, hey, I'm gonna give them control up to a certain point, right? And then I'm gonna take it back, and I'm gonna have the conversation. I'm gonna get what I need to get out of this phone call. I'm not gonna let you bully me around saying, "Okay, let's go check it out." Okay, sure, we'll go check it out. Yeah, send me lockbox. Okay, not not gonna get bullied around. Joe says, "Can I hire her?" Negative. Never. Awesome, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see here. We got a lot of questions. We'll try to get through these because we'll wrap this up because I have the next live in like 6 minutes. So we'll finish this off with some questions. Let's see. John says, how does the VA interact or integrate with your CRM system in general? So, guys, what do you guys do in our CRM?
It's actually pretty straightforward for the frontliners or cold callers. They do have what we call Podio. Like we have a link for Podio wherein they type in all the details that they were able to collate from a particular lead, and they just enter those details and send it, and it goes straight right to our Podio. And as lead managers, we definitely would, look up what we call a prospect app. That's where our new leads come in. So we go right straight to their profile, check notes, see their motivation if they passed 4 pillars. So once these leads pass 4 pillars, we're gonna do further vetting. So we're gonna give them a call, and if it's a good deal, we set up an appointment, and in our CRM or in our system, um, if this lead is set for an acquisition appointment, it goes straight to our seller lead app. So it's all in there. It's pretty straightforward. It's automated. Um, yeah, like I said, it's an open book wherein there are some pretty straightforward navigations.
Bam, exactly. So everything in the CRM, I mean, they basically work out of Podio. You guys hear when they make a phone call, that little dun 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 dun. That is smartphone. So we make our outbound
Hmm.
calls in Podio using smartphone. So yeah, that is how we use the CRM. So let's see, Jeremiah, Nasheed, what's up, man? What's going on? Um, interviewing hire a VA. Just I mean, anybody's going to tell you what you want to hear on the interview. I think,
Best foot forward.
yeah, everybody's going to be like, yeah, no, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this. And that doesn't matter if they're a VA or if it's, someone here in Phoenix. They're going to tell me all the things I want to hear. But typically, the proof is in the work ethic. The proof is in getting it done. People will promise you the world, but I mean, you guys can probably say the same in the relationships you have in your personal life and your friends. They'll let you have friends that'll let you down. They'll tell you what you want to hear, and then next thing you know, they do something different. So when you're interviewing and you're hiring somebody, we typically have like a boot camp program. We like to put folks through, put them through the ringer and maybe a week or two to see who's really going to perform, who's going to make the calls. So
Exactly.
Jeff says, "Do you have a lead manager who fulfills 4 to 5 hours a day? How do you keep a lead manager busy?" So a lead manager, I mean, they're going to keep themselves busy just because, you know, even when there's not a crazy amount of leads, they're going to call back all the people that don't answer. Right?
Exactly.
You guys heard a few times on these calls that's, you know, it just goes straight to voicemail. We'll run back through those in the afternoon, the morning, so they're all full time.
With the
But
bombarding team.
the bombarding team, yes, but you only get a lead manager. You have to have a good marketing team first. You have to have a good team of openers and cold callers before you can have a lead manager. So that's why it's a natural progression having a team of cold callers, and then your highest performer moves up to a lead manager, right? So now they're taking that conversation to the next level while you still have a good group of cold callers. There we go. Definitely empathy and share a similar story. Yep. That was from Michael Lotion. Right. We're caring about them and their situation. That's right. It's all about building relationships. Um, Rapport, absolutely. Typically, guys, like you don't have to be their best friends, right? You don't have to be the prospects, like, you know, perfect. You know, their best friend over the phone, share a lot of hee hee and ha ha's. By knowing what you're talking about, right, and being confident in what you're saying, and then I like throwing in a little jokes here and there. I might like to make the prospect laugh when I'm on the phone with them. But you know, I try to be friendly, not making friends with everybody. Because I think a lot of folks see that as salesy and like it's kind of off-putting for sure. It was a good call. He was crabby, but understandably so. His current situation, just give him some time, and he'll be good to go. Exactly, man. I mean, that's the name of the game. That's the name of this business. Is you got to catch people. Got to catch people at the right time. Right, timing, consistency is everything. So we're consistent on this. On Michael, right? We want to be on top of it. We want to come from a place of service, but ultimately, like we're in the business of making money, so we want to buy his property for sure. But the only way we get to buy his property is to put him first, build some rapport, and solve his problems. So it's all going to be about timing for Michael now. We're consistent on top of it. We just got to catch him at the right time, and hopefully we can plan that together by building some more rapport on the next call. Let's see. Brian, first of all, thank you for your gifts. Secondly, I have a lead 35-acre parcel of land, Lake California. So Brian, for your leads, if you want to reach out to Tino or Nick on the team, you can submit your lead in there, and they will underwrite it and see what the best plan of attack would be for it. Omar, do you call your texted numbers if they ask to stop text? No. So if they ask to stop, we don't call them. Is it too late to join? No, man. The 990 challenge, I was actually going to talk to Pace about this on the next live here, was when will we cut it off? I think probably by the end of this month would be the right cutoff. And I mean, you can still do the 990 challenge personally, right? But as far as the giveaway is concerned, we'll probably cut it off at the end of October. But why not? The whole point of the 990 challenge is to make yourself better, right? To work on being consistent because everyone struggles with consistency. Myself, I struggle with it. I think everyone does, right? Especially consistent on the things that stuff I really don't want to do, right? That it's always hard to be consistent with it. So the whole point of the 990 challenge is like getting yourself up and doing things that kind of make you uncomfortable and being on top of it. So not to say like you can't do it outside of October, which I mean you should, right? It builds good practice. I mean, it's just like doing 75 hard. No one gives anybody any rewards for it, but you do it to better yourself. So, but as far as the giveaway is concerned, we'll probably cut it off at the end of this month. Check out our next live with Pace that I'm going to hop on right after this to get some more details on that because I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but I'm pretty sure we'll probably cut it off at the end of this month. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. As far as the live today, we did some calls. Hopefully you guys who are watching got some value out of this today. You guys can see what our lead managers are doing every single day. This video will be saved. Moving forward, we won't be streaming live on Pace's YouTube anymore, simply because like he has content that's going out like all the time, and we don't want to dilute it with our Friday lives, which is super helpful. And I hope you guys get a lot of value from it. What we are going to be doing is going live in the Facebook groups and VA Hub YouTube channel. So I just created it this morning. If you guys like these videos and you guys are, like coming on here and asking questions and seeing what we're doing, please go subscribe to VA Hub and check out our Friday lives there, because we really, really, really enjoy doing this. It's all about serving you guys. I mean, I like coming on here talking to my people. This is super fun, but ultimately, I like answering questions and serving our community. So. With that, I think we'll wrap it up. Ira, thank you. Don, thank you. Mara, thank you. Thank you guys so much for hopping on.
Thanks for having us, Matt.
Thank you for
Really
having us,
appreciate it.
Matt.
Yeah. Let's get to it,
Thanks
guys.
so much.
Friday.
Bye.
Friday. See ya.
Friday.
Friday.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.